Hey, what's going on, guys? Today's video we're going to be discussing and showing you guys how to replace the battery on your iPhone 5. Now, I do have another video explaining that Apple you can actually check your serial number on the Apple website to find out if Apple will replace your battery or not for free. And the reason why is because iPhone 5s are known for just absolutely horrible battery experience. The life of the battery drains so quickly. And again, what I do on my battery, my problem is I'm at like 30-something% and then it just drops out completely. I plug it back in for like 2 minutes. It pops back up to like 45%. The battery is shot. Apple knows there's a problem, so they're actually fixing it for free. Now, I have an issue, though. Apple will not fix my battery because I've cracked glass. So I'm actually doing this myself, and I'm going to show you how. Now, I have tools already. I purchased the suction cup. This is going to be the easiest way to pull up the glass. I'll link all this stuff in the description box below. So if you guys need special tools, suction cup, etc., I'll link that below. Now, the first thing your guy is going to do, battery disassembly is very easy. But what we're going to do here, if you have a case on it, go ahead and take off the case. And so it exposes just, again, the iPhone here. Alright guys, so the first thing we're going to do is we are going to be powering off the device. So if your battery is not completely dead, that's okay. No need to take this step. But if your battery is not dead, then we will go ahead and turn the device off first before we proceed. Alrighty guys, now the first thing we're going to do after the case is off, it depends what video you're watching, but I was able to pick up my kit here for free, included with my front assembly. If you're watching my battery video, you will need to purchase this here. They're cheap. I'll link in the description box below, guys. So the first thing we're going to do here, guys, is we're going to take off both these screws here on the bottom here. These screws just lay out of the way here. Remove those screws, put those out of the way. Make sure you don't lose any of these screws because a new packet of screws is going to cost some extra dollars, guys. So now what we're going to do with those screws removed, this is the part where you use your suction cup here. Now the easiest way to do this is it's going to be really tight down through here. What you want to do is you don't want to do the suction cup over the home button here. What you want to do is you want to do the suction cup right behind it. If you're using this one, attach your little thing here, put it right on the back of it right here. If you're using this big guy, I'm going to be putting it right behind the home button on the screen there. If I have to, I'll inch my way up a little bit. Okay, so that suction cup is on there nice and tight. And what we're going to do here, guys, is we're going to pull it back carefully here, holding it up with one hand. And you're going to start to see it expose down here. That's a good sign, guys. So at this point, guys, I'm going to go ahead and insert one of these little tools in here away from my home button, away from the charging port, over in the corner here. And again, just so that I can have a little bit of access room there. Now we're going to go ahead and just wiggle a little bit. There we go there, guys. Very nice. Again, being nice and gentle. Okay, this is where you need to be careful while you're bringing it back. Again, purchase one of these, guys. It's a lot easier. All the ribbons are up there by the front camera. This opens up like this, but all your ribbons are down at the bottom there, right where my V crease is right there. Because we don't want to have our cables get messed up there, I'm going to take our little 49er helmet here, and we're going to go ahead and put that behind it so that it doesn't fall and fall down. Let's get a little bit more light on the subject here. Okay, guys, now this step is very important here. I was always taught, especially with Apple products, Apple Minis, and other electronic products, that you want to remove the ribbon of your battery first before you proceed to your cables up here. Unfortunately, I shorted out an iPad mini because I did not do this step. Sometimes there's a little shock to your motherboard and you do not want that. Okay, so what we're going to do first, again, is we need to remove the battery. So there's a screw right here, and then there's a screw right here, and the end right here. So there's 3 screws right here. And this attaches this little metal thing here onto the top of your battery cable connector. So what we're going to do is we're going to remove, again, these 3 screws, 1, 2, and 3. So let's go ahead and do that now. There's one. Again, these are very tiny. Don't lose these, guys. And And what I always do is I always put them in order just in case one's larger than the other. So I know this one's the right, this one's the middle, and then this one will be the left here. Alright, and that does look a little bit bigger than the others. And this is magnetic right there. So that's left, middle, and right. Now what we want to do, if you have tweezers, that's a good idea, or sometimes if your fingers are a little sweaty, that removes there. Now with that metal piece out of the way, guys, now this is where you want to go ahead and get your guitar pick out, one of these little guys here. And what we're going to do is we're going to flip up this ribbon right here. Now this ribbon is connected from the left to right. So what we're going to do is we're going to get just our little pick in there like this, and we're going to flip it up. Just like that. So there, our little ribbon is flipped up. Our battery is now disconnected. And you probably want to just go ahead and push that out of the way a little bit more. Like that. There we go. Alrighty guys, now that it's out of the way there, that prevents it from trying to reconnect. Alright guys, I have my new OEM battery here on the left hand side, and it is the exact same OEM. It's 3.8 volts to 545 VHR or WHR. And so that information is right there. The APN number is the same. And so we're looking good, guys. Again, just an exact fit right on top there. I'll link this in the description box below this video, guys. So don't worry. I'll have all the links you might need for the tools that you need to pick up, etc. Alrighty, guys. Now this part, what we're going to do, now before we remove the battery, guys, we want to go ahead and release these ribbons up here, up top here. Now the reason we want to take off the front assembly is that it's going to be a lot easier to work with it because we're going to have to heat up the back with a hair dryer, and I don't want to have to deal with these ribbons potentially flopping back on me and ruining my front LCD or glass digitizer, etc. Now we're going to go ahead and work on this little square up here. To remove these cables, first we need to remove these 3 screws. There's one right there, one right there, and one right there. Let's go ahead and remove these 3 screws. That will remove this little protection shield. That will remove that. That will expose the ribbons that we can then pry it. Alright guys, with the 3 screws out of the way here, again this little shield just removes. You can get your little tweezers or just put your little finger on it and it'll stick to your finger and remove that. Again, it went right there. Now with that out of the way, guys, we look in here and we see this first tab right here. Okay, it's a little chrome looking top of a tab here. It goes from right here to here, and we need to lift that up. So let's get that camera nice and tight there. We're going to lift it from the right side up to the left side there. So let's go ahead and lift that up now. There we go. That pops up. That is our ribbon number 1 right there. Now underneath it, guys, we see another ribbon, and that ribbon is going to be this one right here. Okay, the one right where my screwdriver is on top of there. That's ribbon number 2. We need to go ahead and lift that one, so we're going to start from down here south. We're going to go south to north and flip it up. I'm going to try not to get in the way of the camera here. You could even come through the edge right over here. And that one lifts up just like that, guys. Try to get it from the edge. Lift that up carefully now. Okay, we have one more before this is completely removed. We have one more here down at the bottom, which is underneath these other ones here. So let's raise that up. And as we can see, right underneath my screwdriver, right there is another silver-plated ribbon head. And we need to flip that one up. That one, again, goes south to north as well. This is going to be a little bit tricky with camera angles and stuff like that. Let me see if I can get it. But again, we're going to come over here to our right side and flip that up right there. That's it, guys. We have all 3 ribbons removed. Let's carefully remove the top front assembly. So again, with those ribbons removed, this completely is removed now, guys. Again, we have 3 ribbons, 1, and then we have 2 up top right there, and a 3rd one right here. 3 ribbons. Our suction cup is still on there. Again, alrighty guys, now with the front assembly out of the way, it's a lot easier to work on this now. So what we're going to do, guys, is we're going to get that hair dryer, and we're going to go ahead and put it on high, and we're going to go ahead and keep it about maybe 8 to 10 inches away from the back of it here, and we're going to go ahead and heat up the portion where the battery is on, because on the bottom of this battery is adhesive. So we need to heat that adhesive up so that we can remove the battery a lot easier. Right here, this little pull tab is the pull tab for the battery. Apple already knows that you need to exchange your batteries quite frequently. So what we want to do is we want to heat up the adhesive part, so when you flip it around, heat up the right-hand side of it here. Go from about right here, cut down through the Apple to the bottom, and right through this area right here. You don't want to go too far left, because you don't want to heat up your motherboard right there, guys. So stick to the right-hand side, right row here, and heat up this portion here. And then what we're going to do here is very simple after that. You're going to carefully just pry this up and remove the battery, because the adhesive will be nice and heated, ready for removal, guys. So let's do that now. All right, guys, we have our blow dryer here, and we have, of course, our iPhone back right here. Again, I'm going to be concentrating mostly on this right-hand side here, holding it about maybe, I said 8 to 10 inches, but we're going to get in there nice and tight, about maybe 7, 8 inches or so. And we're going to do this for about a minute or so, and then we're going to go ahead and go back to the computer desk and remove this. Alrighty, guys, the back is nice and hot to the touch here. So what we're going to do here is we're going to grab this little tab right here, and what we're going to do is we're just going to kind of pull at it a little bit here. But again, the adhesive is heated up now. But again, that adhesive is nice and tight in there. So we got to be a little careful. We might have to do a little bit of prying, guys. If you have to do a little bit of prying, then what you want to do is you want to grab your guitar pick here. And again, because this battery is old and we're just going to recycle this, you just want to be careful, but you can actually kind of get in there. Alrighty, guys, just keep working it, getting those angles here. And again, we popped it up here. And again, I won't be using this one again, so it's okay. And again, when lifting up, remember, watch your ribbons. There's a ribbon right here. If you try to go this route, okay, be careful of that ribbon right there. And again, this adhesive right here, guys. So here is the little plastic tab right here. And again, all the adhesive, guys, of the battery is around it. And so what we want to do is, my replacement battery did not come with any adhesive. You can either purchase new adhesive if you completely ruined yours. But what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to lay mine back in on the adhesive while it's still sticky, so try not to touch it or ruin the stickiness of it. Now what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to go ahead and just insert my battery all the way down, push it flush against the bottom down here. And then what we're going to do, guys, is we're just going to lay it in there exactly how it was, like that. And then you can go ahead and just take your fingers. We're going to push it on in there, making it look nice and pretty. And again, we have our new cable right down here. That just connects right back in that slot there. But again, we're going to do that after we put back our ribbon cables. So again, I'm just going to put a little bit of pressure on here like this. Don't puncture the new battery. We're looking really good, guys. And that is installation of a new battery. Now, guys, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and reinstall the ribbon cables here first. And then we're just going to go ahead and lay it back down here. But let's go ahead and do that first. So what we're going to do, again, we have the one right here, the very first one. So when you flip it over like this, we have this first one here. That one goes up top. Again, right where my finger is, there's one, there's two, and there's one on the side. This first one goes up here. Second one, the little one, goes right here. Third one over to the right here goes right there. And then we're going to be putting back on our little shield and screws. So let's go ahead and put that first one in first. And what you want to do is you don't want to force it, but you just want to go ahead and making sure that it seats down very nice. Okay, there's one. Number two, we're going to come right over the top of it here. Stick it in that little guy there. You'll hear a little click. And now the third one right over there in the corner there. So again, our battery cable, again, guys, is still out. And this right one, you just have to line up a little bit here. There we go, guys. We got it in there. We heard a little clip. And what I always do is I always go ahead and just go back over them very carefully, making sure all of them are seated in there, because you don't want to go ahead and take this thing apart once you put it all back together. Now, what we're going to do, guys, is we're going to go ahead and put our shield back on right over these top of these ribbons here. So let's go ahead and do that now. Okay, we have our shield here, and I'm going to go ahead and just slip it on right back on the top of it like this. And again, guys, we're going to go ahead and seat that down nice and gently there. And remember, guys, put back the screws in the way they were before. One of these screws is actually longer than the other, and that screw particularly goes in the right-hand corner here, right there. Now, these other two screws are the same size, very, very small. If your screwdriver is not magnetic on the end, if you just put a little saliva sometimes on the end of your screwdriver and then stick it inside, it will go ahead and hook on like that. And now again, we're going to go ahead and go to our second one here and third right here. Alright guys, with our shield back on, and again 1, 2, 3 screws, let's move down to the little battery shields for the battery clip here. So now this is the time when you can, I repeat, you can go ahead and click back in your battery. So we're going to go ahead and click that guy back on in. Alright guys, the new battery is clicked back in. Again, you might hear a nice click, you might not. Okay, now let's go ahead and get our little, and again we have two of them here. So we have the first one, with the short guy, and that again goes from right here to right here, making sure that your cables haven't been removed there. And again, we have one here, and then we have this one that goes right here. All right, let's go ahead and get our screws. Let's go ahead and put this guy back in. Alrighty guys, all those screws are nice and tight there. So the battery is connected, all our ribbons are connected, and we're going to double check our work before we seal this guy back up. Now what I do, guys, is I like to grab a can of air duster here. Again, just electronics can of air duster. I'll link that below as well. And I just like to go ahead and just spray, just in case there's any dust or debris on any components that don't need to be there. But again, watch your two screws right here for the bottom. Make sure those are out of the way because you don't want to spray those on the carpet somewhere and can't find them. So I'm just going to go ahead and point it, and I'm going to go ahead and start shooting away here. And what that does is that just removes any debris or any stuff that's just jammed in there on my speakers, etc. And if you see anything lying, big pieces that came up, go ahead and remove those now. We're going to take the top and we're going to go ahead and sandwich it in. Now those ribbons are new, so it's going to take a little bit of easing down. But again, we're just going to line up the top right up here, just like that. And then we're going to go ahead and come on down, making sure that we're sealed up real nice right here. The edge is looking beautiful. We're going to go ahead and put a little bit of pressure on that while we come down to the bottom and seat it in here like that, guys. Beautiful. And we just have a little bit of gap right there, guys. So what we need to do here is we need to very carefully push down on there and click that into place here. Alrighty, guys. Excellent. Now, if you did have a little gap like that, again, just put a little bit of pressure on it while you're pushing down and kind of pushing in. It'll snap back into place, guys. It is beautifully seated now. Alrighty, now that we've checked our work here, we do need to put back in our two bottom screws. And so what we're going to do, again, we need to get our little pendulum tool here. We're going to take each screw, put those in, self-explanatory, very easy, guys. Alrighty, guys, once the screws are in there completely, nice and tight, you guys are all set. You have your new battery inside. Now, my new battery actually needs to be charged. It was completely dead for some reason. Other people send you a battery that's 50% charged or 100% charged, or not 100%, but almost up there. Anyway, mine was completely dead, so I actually had to put it on the cradle before I filmed this. And now I'm back up 100%. We're looking good, guys. Again, solid, new battery, and I have it powered off, so we'll power it back on. But it's been sitting for about a day and a half since I last tuned in with you guys, and we're at 87% after 2 days with a little bit of use and standby time. So that battery is perfect, good to go, guys. Thank you so much for watching the video about how to replace your iPhone 5 battery. And again, look in the description box below this video for all the links for the new battery, tools, anything else you might need. Again, guys, perfect, works fine, we're looking good. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for so many more awesome videos. Please subscribe. thumbs that video up if it helped you. I appreciate you guys. Take care. Bye-bye.